Imagine you're halfway driving to Malaysia, not to get your fuel, but to go for your holiday. You have been planning all along for 6 months for your holiday to Genting Highland. You have dreamed of the roller coaster, the fun, the casino, the cable car, but halfway you realize your fuel almost empty. So you need to get your fuel. So you find a nearby gas station, you move aside, then suddenly someone knock at your car. Someone's telling you, your car, something is leaking. Let me ask you, how will you respond? I believe that most of you will only thank the person, check your car. Even if it's wrong, you will not be angry, upset or anything. You will just go on with your journey. But let's say it's in the different case. You're in charge of a project. You have already worked on it for many months. Then halfway presenting to the team, someone interrupted. Your idea will not work. You have not counted the economic downturn. You have not counted the Singapore market. How will you respond? I believe many of us will be tempted to become defensive, to become angry and upset. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, let me ask you, why do you think there are the differences in these two cases? And guess? The answer is identity. It's very seldom for people to attach their identity to car, to their things. But a lot of people attach their identity to what they do, their job, their ideas, their viewpoints, their decisions. That's where identity comes in. Let me ask you, who of you is analytical? How about optimistic? How about innovative? How about straightforward? Diplomatic? Okay, great. This is all your strength. But let me tell you, when identity comes in, it's all different story. Your talent became your traitor. If you're analytical, you can become pessimistic. Optimist person, you can become unrealistic. Straightforward, you become inconsiderate. Innovative, you can become impractical. This is all what can happen when your identity comes in. You don't want to change, the other person must change. Today I want to share with you how we actually defend ourselves. There are actually 5 levels, 5 zones. That I want to share is from the book titled Economics from David Malcolm and Stephen Smith. Let me draw for a while. Okay, there are 5 levels. But the most outside is the execution. It's the execution, how we execute our ideas. Next is strategy, what we think we ought to do. Next is viewpoint, what we think good and bad, useful and not useful. Next is value. It's the value that we hold most. It can be integrity, honesty, love and kindness. And the last one is our character, who we think we are. The first 3 I will say as your ideas. Only the last 2 I will say is your identity. Each of us carry a power station inside. When people get closer, we give them a warning. 5,000 volts, beware. If they still get closer, we will give them a sound. But if they still get closer, beware, you can be electrocuted to death. So, But the problem is, many of us mistake our boundaries. The boundary is not as clear as this. When people are actually questioning our execution, our idea, our strategy, what we think is questioning our identity, who we think we are. So what should we do? Today I want to share with you 3 exemplary values and 1 core character for you, that you can learn how you can build up your identity, that you can defend not your identity, but your idea. First is humility. C.S. Lewis said, humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. This is a change from me perspective to a we perspective. The discussion is no longer to let the best identity win, but the discussion is about to let the best ideas win. Humility also realizing that we are unfinished project. We all have something to work on. Analytical, you need to become more optimistic. Straightforward people, you need to become more diplomatic person. So we all have something to work on. And that's where humility comes in. Secondly, is curiosity. We are all judges. When we see strangers, we will judge by their outlook, even sometimes with their race and religion. But is it really the right thing? Even with the people that we know, we also judge them based on the past mistakes, past response, past reaction. Is it really the truth? The best is when you can give people benefit of the doubt. You trust them. But more than that, that's where the curiosity comes in. Raise up and check with them. What do they mean with the word they say? What do they see? What do they assume? What are the consequences that they see through what their opinion is? And the last exemplary value is the veracity. People are afraid to ask because people are afraid to know the truth. Veracity actually comes from the word veritas, means the truth. But it's more than the truth. It is the pursuit of and adherence to the truth. In veracity, it's important to embrace disagreement, not as a liability, but an asset. To speak up and to hear down agreement. And last but not least, I want to share with you the core character. That is your self-love. Why is it important? Because the more fragile your self-esteem is, the more your effort needed to preserve it. If there is one value that you can bring from this speech today, please bring this. Remember that you're worthy no matter is your ideas. Why? Because you can change your ideas. What people are questioning you is not your identity. There is nothing to defend. They cannot touch your identity. It's only you who can drop your identity. So today, don't be afraid. Let them question your ideas and do what you can to defend your idea, not identity. Bring your intensity to the ideas and not the identity. With the love, with the self-esteem that you have, you can then start loving others. Look at Barack Obama. He is the first black president. People think it's not possible because of the race, something that he cannot change. But what people think about him has not become his identity. He still pursue his goal and he can make it. Look at Nick Fujisik. If you know about him, he's an Australian inspiring speaker without any links. But he can become an inspirational to all the people in the world. This is all what you can do also. So remember this, your identity is not touchable. Remember this, move from identity to your ideas. Thank you.